Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, let us learn about one more interesting topic related to VPC only. Now, you can see in this VPC, I am having web servers, application servers, and database servers. Where my application servers and database servers are, those two are present under my private subnets, right? Yeah. So they do not have access to internet. Now, let's have a question in our mind that the servers which are present under this private subnets, do they don't have any patch updates? Yes, they do have patch updates. Then how do they perform the patch updates? Or how do they install the data from internet? Of course, every server requires internet access, right? Yeah. So now for these private private subnet instances, those whatever the instances which are present under private subnets, now those how can they able to access the internet is the question. How can they able to access the internet? So in order to provide the access for whatever the instances which are present under our private subnet, so in order to provide access to instances present under your private subnet, we need to use one more concept, that is NAT gateway. What is that? NAT gateway. What is it? This NAT gateway, sir? This NAT gateway can able to provide you internet access to your whatever the servers which are present under your private subnet. How? How this NAT gateway will provide you internet access? This NAT gateway will provide internet access by using routable traffic. In the route table, you attach that NAT gateway traffic and you put that NAT gateway under public subnet. For this public subnet, you have internet access. So whatever the servers which are present under your private subnet, they can able to access the NAT gateway. So let's say here NAT gateway is present. So let's say here NAT gateway is present. Now you provided access to this NAT gateway. You provided access to this NAT gateway. You allowed whatever the traffic that is coming from this NAT gateway in the route tables of your private subnets. So whenever you require internet access in your private subnet instances, then what you do? You just connect to this NAT gateway, and then from that NAT gateway, your internet will be accessed through this NAT gateway, and that will be accessed by your servers because you allowed the traffic, right? You allowed the traffic that is coming from this NAT gateway. So let's say I have created a NAT gateway in my public subnet. In my public subnet, I have created my NAT gateway and I want to attach that. I want to attach whatever the rule that this NAT gateway to my private route table, private subnets route table. So how the route table will be? That will be like here your target is what? NAT, NAT gateway, NAT and something 123 like that. Some code will be there. So which represents this NAT gateway ID. And so what is your destination? Your destination is internet. What is your destination? Internet. What is the CIDR block for it? 0.0.0.0 So this indicates what? The traffic to anywhere, to any IP address. This indicates the traffic to any IP address, right? Yeah. So this is how you can able to provide your NAT gateway under your private instances. Now let us see how to create this NAT gateway as well. One more important point, this NAT gateway creation also charges you. This NAT gateway will charge you for two things. What are the two things is, whatever the data processing. So since we are talking about NAT gateway, so let us write points regarding it. So it will charge you. So since we are talking about charge in it, so let us write that as well. So we will be charged for NAT gateway for data processing, and per hour it will charge you. It will charge you per hour for attaching it to any instance. If you attach it to any instance, create and attach it to any instance, per hour you will be charged for after attaching to any instance. After creation and attaching, after creation also will be charged, and after attaching to any instance you will be charged. So let us see about it. So how do we introduce this NAT gateway? This NAT gateway is used to provide you the internet access to your private subnet instances. So let us write that point as well. This NAT gateway used to provide internet access to private subnet instances. What are the instances which are present under your private subnet? For those instances, it will provide you internet access. Okay, let's see how to create it by using AWS management console. So now I opened my VPC dashboard. Under this, I'd like to create an NAT gateway. So you can see the option that is under virtual private cloud. You can see the option that is NAT gateways. So click here. Now, in order to create it, just click on create. So you can see it was asking me about NAT gateway name. So in order to identify, just provide NAT gateway name. NAT gateway 1. Let's say I provided the name it like this. So here you need to select which subnet you want to put this NAT gateway. In which subnet you want to create this NAT gateway. Since I want to put this NAT gateway or create this NAT gateway under where? Under my public subnet, that is web servers, just need to select that. So I'm just selecting it. You can see I already provided the name for it as web server subnet lab. So I just selected it, and connectivity, whether it's a public connectivity or private connectivity. So since I want public connectivity, I just chosen public. And here you can see, just click on create so that your NAT gateway will be created. So before that, one more important point, that is Elastic IP. What is that? Elastic IP. So what is this Elastic IP, sir? So in order to provide you a static IP, in order to provide you a static IP for whatever the servers, whatever the private subnet instances that you have, in order to provide a static IP for all these, you can say like, for whatever the instances that are connected to this NAT gateway, in order to provide a static IP for all those instances which are connected to this NAT gateway, we require a elastic IP address. So how to create this elastic IP address? I'll show you that. So for that also, you need to open a new tab here. You need to open a VPC. I opened my VPC in the new tab. Yeah, you can see here elastic IPs. What is that? Elastic IPs. Just click on it. So where elastic IPs are present, under virtual private cloud, you have elastic IPs are present. Now click on allocate elastic IP address. If you just click on it, then it will automatically create you elastic IP for you. So I'm not clicking on it because it will charge me. So that's why I'm not creating it. For one elastic IP address, for creation and deletion or attaching to any instance, you won't be charged for one elastic IP address. But if you create multiple elastic IP address, you will be charged. And one more thing is, allocating and allocating, and you can see under the actions, you can see releasing. So allocating, attaching, after that releasing, allocating, attaching, and then releasing. Like that, if you test up to 100 times per month, then also you'll be charged. So for this lab purpose, currently I'm not creating. So in order to provide you the theory, so I'm just willing to explain it. So here you just click here so that your Elastic IP will be created. After that, if you click here, so I just came back to my NAT gateway creation. There we provided name and subnet under which this NAT gateway will reside in, and Elastic IP, what are the Elastic IP that you just created that you need to provide here, that you need to select here. You can see that under these options that you created, and just click on create NAT gateway. So if you click on create NAT gateway, then it will be created. So currently, since I am not attached this Elastic IP address, it won't be created now. Since it is charged also, that's why I'm not creating for this lab purpose. So I hope you understood that how to create this NAT gateway as well. So I'm just cancelled this for this lab purpose. So if you create a NAT gateway, then how your traffic will move, or how your private subnet instances will connect to internet is by using this NAT gateway, they can able to access the internet. So in this way, the traffic will be, and whatever the response that is getting from internet, that also need to first pass through NAT gateway, then only it reaches to your private subnet instances. So this is about NAT gateway, and I hope you also seen one more concept, that is Elastic IP. So whenever you allocate this Elastic IP, a static IP address is created for you. So whenever you allocated this Elastic IP, EIP in short, we call it as. So whenever you allocated this Elastic IP address, a static IP address will be created for you. So in which scenario do we use this, sir? We use this whenever we are hosting our servers. So let's say you hosted a server where that server having some IP address, some dynamic IP address, like 10.0.0. some 5. Now after some time, it will be changed to 10.0.7. So let's say you provided this to your client to access your website, but after some time it was changed to like this. So again, do you need to provide this to client? Let's say you have some patients, you provided this also. After some time, it also again changed like this. So is it possible for you to provide this? How many times it was changed? No, right? Yeah. So since to provide a static IP address to your users, so you attach this Elastic IP address to your server. So you can attach this EIP to servers, or else you can say here instances are nothing but servers, right? Here EC2 instances are nothing but our servers. So you can attach this Elastic IP to your EC2 instance, and by using that Elastic IP, you can able to access those EC2 instances as well. By using that Elastic IP, you can able to use this EC2 instances as well. In production environment, we majorly use this Elastic IP address for what? For providing my web servers, for providing a static IP for my web servers. Let's say if I created one web server for my production environment, if that web server fails, but I provided whatever the IP address of that web server to my client. So whenever my web server fails, after that, if my user try to access that web server by using that IP address, do he can able to access that server? No, right? Yeah, he cannot able to access. Other than that instance IP address, if you provide this Elastic IP address, even the instance failed also, you can able to attach this Elastic IP address to another instance. You can able to create another instance and attach it to another instance. Then at the time, if your user uses to access your instance, by using that elastic IP address, whatever the IP address that you provided, then you can able to access it. So here you avoided a problem, right? That is replacing each and every time the IP address. That problem you avoided by using this elastic IP address. You can even able to attach this elastic IP address to single elastic IP address to multiple multiple instances at a time. You can even able to attach this to multiple instances. So if you attach this same elastic IP address, or you can allocate this same IP address to multiple EC2 instances, then all those EC2 instances will share the same IP address, will share the same static IP address. Whatever the static IP address does this elastic IP address will create, that static IP address will be shared by all those instances. So this is one of the real-time scenario where we use this. And one more place is while creating NAT gateway. While creating NAT gateway, you have seen that, right? So attach a elastic IP address. So during that moment of time also, you need to use this elastic IP address. So if you want to create NAT gateway to provide a static IP address for to provide a static IP for NAT gateway. You need to create this. What you need to create? You need to create this elastic IP address. You need to use this. You need to allocate this EIP. So this is about elastic IP address. I hope you understood NAT gateway, and you also understood about elastic IP address as well with real-time scenarios, and how do you able to provide access of internet to private subnet instances. What are the instances which are present under your private subnets? So I hope this video is contentful. If you feel this video is contentful, then please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Thanks for watching again. See you back in the next video with another interesting topic. Until then, bye bye guys.